I'm not taking no questions off you because you're a Villa supporter. So you can pass that over to someone who's neutral.
I'm totally impartial down the middle.
Liar. Fibber.
No.
Yes, and you're going as red as your hair.
I am not.
Yes, you are, Collie. Pass it on. Pass it to someone else who's in. Look how red he's got. Oh, he's taking the camera on his face here. Pete. Oh, blimey, Charlie. Look.
Down the middle, mate.
Yeah.
They call me Big Crosby. Seriously. Straight down the middle.
Come on then, let's go.
Ready? What's the situation with Johnny Evans? Is he fit?
I'm not going to tell you because you're a Villa supporter.
My mother was, but no, is he fit? I heard he's been training.
Yeah, he's trained. We've got 2 or 3 that we're training later on this afternoon that we'll look at before we make the final decision. Johnny's one of them.
How good was he last week for you? Were you impressed, or was it what you expected?
No, that's what we expected. I think we've had a good week with him as well. So he's got to know the players, and players have got to know him. But it's been the first full week we've had together since the window closed. Obviously, they went straight off just before the window closed to international duty, which didn't give us the opportunity of really getting the group together and work with the group. So this has been really the first week of the season that we've been together.
You need people, do you not, like Fletcher, like Johnny Evans, that have been through so many big games?
No, I think the lads here know the people who've been Morrison's and the Brunts and people like that. They've been through through it in respect of local derby matches, so they're experienced enough. They're not young kids. But Johnny obviously and Fletcher will help because they have got really good experience.
It could be Johnny Lescott's home debut for Villa. Why did you let him go?
Well, first of all, Jolyon was fantastic. He had a great year. Yeah, I thought he was a wonderful player, wonderful lad. Really got on very well with him. You know, you'd have to speak to Jolyon and find out what the real reasons were. But once Villa were interested and he wanted to go and they wanted him, then that was it. That was fine. No problems at all. For me, he's been a wonderful, wonderful player, and he's coming to the back end of a fantastic career. He'd done brilliant for me, so there was no way I was going to stop him.
Was it a case of you couldn't stop him, or you wouldn't?
No, I like I say, I spoke to Jolyon on many occasions. He was one of the, when I first came into the club, he was one of the players that I actually put my confidence in, and he was a really, really good lad. I have a lot of time for Jolyon, and I wish him all the best. I wish him all the best. He's a good player.
Sido, only one this week. Spoke to one of your players this week, and he said that all the players are unanimous that they're not cross with him. They've got no problem with him. They've said to him, "We just want you to score goals."
Pete, I think I said it. As an individual, everybody, a young person, and we've all been there. We've all made mistakes in what we've done, and looked back on it and thought, if we had that opportunity, would we have done the same thing? And we'd say no. And I think Sido most probably would be the same. Having said that, for him to be ambitious, I don't think we should stop him from being ambitious. The way that things happened and the way he went about it was wrong. I think the kid realises that. But to be ambitious, to want to play at one of the top clubs in England, I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Nice that the players have backed him and backed you, though. Because before that
it's not a case of backing. It's a case of they know he's a good player. They know that again, we've had a meeting and I've told them exactly the same as I've told you. Young people make mistakes. Young people approach things, especially when there's third parties in your ear. And I have to say, not just agents who put things in people's minds. And he's very, very young. He's very impressionable. I'm sure if he could have done it again, he would have done it differently and come through it less unscathed. The important thing is now is to get the kid back. He's a good kid. Get him back to what he was before the window opened.
What did you think? What did you make of the Villa game last week against Leicester?
No, I think Villa have got. I think Tim's invested a lot of money on bringing a lot of players in. Some of the players I don't know. They're foreign lads, and he's obviously scouted them and brought them in. They certainly look a stronger squad this year than what they were last year. He has much more options, and I think he'll be looking to have a good season. I've got a lot of time for Tim. I think he was very unfortunate to lose his job at Tottenham, and he's gone there and he's done a good job there. So we know it's going to be difficult. It's great local derby. You know, obviously I'm the Albion manager. I've got fantastic respect for this football club. You know, and we'll treat Villa the same. We'll go over there and show them the respect that they deserve as well, Pete.
He was complimentary about you earlier on this morning, but he suggested you got different philosophies on football.
No, I think the fella who's asking the question asked that question, not Tim.
No, he did. He answered. He said that you probably got different philosophies on football.
Yeah, but I thought the listening to the interview, I thought the fella who asked him the questions was right, trying to push him that way, as you do, Pete. Especially you Villa supporters.
What do you make of the derbies last year? Because there was a bit said as well as the games.
Derby matches are derby matches. They're brilliant. You know, they're fantastic games to be involved in. They're wonderful occasions. You know, obviously the disappointing thing last year was the crowd trouble. And you know, I hope and pray that both sets of supporters go there tomorrow and really respect football. That's what it's all about. It's about professional football. Two teams going head to head and giving it everything. And hopefully we'll have a great game. People will behave themselves. And you know, it does take, you know, a bit of character to stand up afterwards and walk away if you've lost. But that's, you know, that's what people should do.
I think it tested you a little bit, didn't it? I remember the post-match press conference.
No, I was disappointed in respect of the reaction of the you know, the supporters, because like I say, I think people should go there to enjoy the game and be big enough and man enough to accept whether they win, lose or draw. You know, and you know, I think our supporters behaved exceptionally well, and I don't think I'm passing that at our supporters.
I don't think you thought it was a level playing field though the last 5 or 10 minutes.
With all the supporters on? No, they had about 400 Villa supporters plus the 11 players against just our 11 players, Pete.
So what do you say to fans tomorrow?
No, I've just said it. Just enjoy the game. Go there and really, you know, sing your hearts out. Both sides, both sets of supporters will sing their hearts out for their football clubs, and rightly so. And you know, I'm hoping it's a great game. I'm obviously hoping that we get the best of it and win the game. But hopefully it's a top game.
Just finally, it's more than 3 points sometimes, isn't it? This because it can help you kick on.
No, this is 3 points. This is 3 points. Or more.
James from Premier League News. Nice to meet you.
Hi, James.
You mentioned passing last week
yes.
as there's a problem in the Southampton game. Is that something you've been working on this week?
No, I just thought we looked very, looking at the game again and analysing it afterwards. You know, I think we looked jaded. I think there was players within the group who obviously had travelled a long way and looked jaded, and the ones who hadn't travelled didn't play as well as what they could have played. And the situation now, for the first time, as I've said, you know, leading up to the transfer window, then and working all the way through the transfer window, we haven't known what group of players we were going to work with, whether we were going to lose Sido, whether we were going to lose other players, whether we were going to bring other players in. And then as soon as the window closes, we've lost the players then for another 2 weeks. So they don't turn up until the Thursday. So this week has really been the first week that we've had since the season started for the group to be together and work together. And that's not just this football club, that's other football clubs in the Premier League as well. So, you know, it's been difficult to really embed what you want and what you know what's needed. And they've worked well this week, and I'm hoping and praying that, you know, what they've done on the training ground they'll show on the pitch.